So we're beginning with our fragment of poetry that we've been following for our season of love. In troubled times, it takes great concentration to align ourselves with grace instead of force, with love instead of fear. We begin by allowing ourselves to be loved, along with all the rest of creation. And then we fall into that love and let that love flow through us into the world. So if you've been following along with our sessions in order, you'll remember that we spent quite a few sessions in the beginning on that part of allowing ourselves to be loved. That is where we must begin. So we learn to receive love. And we practiced that, and we continue to practice that in each session. We allow in each session love to flow into all aspects of our being. So we were practicing receiving love and learning to embody love, to feel our full being filled with love. So we do that in each session, and hopefully we're beginning to notice in times outside of the session when we can sense that that's true in our being. And then we looked at little children and we recognized how they are so naturally in the flow of love, that they receive love and they give love without ever having to wonder why, or whether they're worthy, or whether someone deserves it. They just love. And it's for this reason that Jesus told people that people needed to become like little children if they wanted to experience the kingdom of heaven. In other words, if we wanted to be in love all the time, we needed to remember that part of ourselves that we knew inherently when we were children. And recalling what is different between we mature adults and little children. One of the major differences is that we adults have fully formed egos. And there is so much to understand and explain about the ego. And that is the direction I was headed tonight with this talk, but something got in the way. So tonight I'm going to talk about my ego, not egos in general, but my ego and how my ego was interacting with me today. So I am not feeling well today. And as many of you know, feeling unwell is a result of the treatment that I'm on for metastatic breast cancer. And as it attempts to do its work to stop my cancer from growing and spreading, it has effects on me. And the biggest effects are fatigue and brain fog. So brain fog meaning that I can't think well. I can't explain well. I can't teach well. Therefore, because I can't do any of those things well, I was going to cancel tonight. And then I saw how I was listening to my ego. That everything that I said in those sentences just now, everything that I said there, I can't think, I can't explain, I can't teach, they're actually kind of true in a cultural sense. and they are not what is most deeply true about me. And what is most deeply true about me is that no matter how bad my body feels, no matter what state of health my mind and body are in, I am and always will be in the flow of love. I don't have to be able to make sense, logical sense, or tie all the strings together in order to talk about that. I just need to feel that. I just need to tell you what is most true, and not from my brain, but from my heart. I realize that as I sit here and struggle with my mind and its fogginess, and when I check into my heart, I can see I have no heart fog. Really, I don't. Right now, I can feel love surging in me as I stop and feel it. My brain fog and my fatigue actually doesn't stop me from feeling the rest of my being and all the parts of my being. So as I bypass my brain, which is hard to do, but be careful what you pray for, because, a lot of us are like, if only my brain would quiet down, if only it would be still, and now mine is. And then I say, if only I can focus, if only I could think better. But if I go past this fogginess of my brain, and always remembering this ego thing we talk about, it lives there. It lives in the mind. I can get down to what is most true in the rest of my being. My ability to love and to receive love. My ability to see and feel beauty and wonder. My ability to simply be. My ability in the midst of this to feel joy and peace, and to feel the tears that prick behind my eyes when I realize how blessed and lucky I am, and how wondrous and beautiful life is. It is all of these things that I'm saying right now that I really want us to know. I can feel in my being right now that true love, this true love that I can feel, not this thing that I think I know about, this true love that I can feel will never lead me astray. It will never lead us astray. But we must come to really know true love. The ego will always confuse us. If we can tap into ourselves, it is actually of love. We will not be confused. So we have to practice receiving love, being love, and being in the flow of love. And then letting it flow out of us and into the world. Just like I can feel it flowing out of me right now to you. To be in that flow takes practice. To be in that flow, to be able to access that part of ourselves where it's always true. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in our own being, where the reality of the flow of love is always true. We have to practice. So let's practice together. I invite you to take a deep breath in. And as you let it out, let your eyes close. Let yourself settle into your space and begin to really feel yourself here. And now taking another breath in. And as you let this one out, to recognize that we are in love. That we are in love, just like a drop of water is in the ocean. To recognize that being in love is true in this moment. It has been true in all of our previous moments. And it will be true for all beings in all moments. Love is. I invite you now to drop in to your own experience and to simply notice whatever it is happening in your being now. In your body, in your heart, in your mind. What is present in this moment? And when you notice an experience, to silently name it to yourself. This naming of our experience is our first step into presence. It's like a little stepping stone that brings us in to the present moment. And we deepen our experience of presence by turning to our body, our physical being. And so we begin with our feet. And we allow love to fill our whole body, beginning with our feet and our lower legs. Our upper legs. And our hips. Letting love fill our pelvis. Our belly. And all the organs of the belly. Letting love flow into and fill our chest. And our heart. Filling our shoulders. Upper arms. Our lower arms. And our hands. Now bringing our attention to our tailbone and allowing love to flow up the spine, including all the muscles, the rib cage, the scapula, and the neck. Letting love flow into the scalp, the head, and coming to rest on our face. And then to feel our body as a whole, this physical being filled with love. And to really notice what that feels like. My body is filled with love. Our body grounds all the other aspects of our being. That's why we always begin with the body, and now we let the body ground us. We continue to feel our bodies as we turn our awareness to our inner experience, beginning with our heart, recalling that our heart is our emotional center, it's our feeling organ. So wherever you imagine that lives in your being, drawing your awareness there, and just allowing love to flow in to your heart. And being aware that there's no need to contain love in a structure the size of your chest or the size of your body. You can let your heart be as large as it wants to be. Just letting love flow in and noticing what happens in your own heart. And then we allow love to fill our spirit. This is our aliveness. This is the spiritual energy in our being, our flow. Has nothing at all to do with the physical energy and the drops or the heights that it might reach when we're feeling well or we're feeling bad. Spiritual energy does not ebb and flow in the same way. Just noticing what happens if we allow love to fill what is spirit in us. And now bringing our awareness to our mind and not feeling like the mind must be constrained to the size of the head, but that our mind might be larger as we allow love to fill it. So just like with the heart, Let love flow in and see how the mind responds. My experience is that it goes from being this sort of little focused space that feels like the size of a walnut to some large cloud-like structure. Where creativity and possibility are totally available. So now noticing all these parts of your being, your body, heart, spirit, mind, all filled with love. And now feeling yourself as one whole being. This being that is you here now. This is you present in love. And to notice in yourself, what is that like? What if this that you're experiencing now is actually the reality? And maybe all the other thoughts we have might be the illusion. And now letting this being filled with love, let this being extend out beyond your four walls. Let it extend out onto the land upon which you're situated. And let your beingness connect with all beingness. All held in love as one. You're now returning to that sense of your being and feeling the way the earth is drawing you into itself. Feel the way that you are held here. Feel the way your foot is held to the floor or your body is held to the chair. And really sense what that feels like. What does it feel like to be held? Through years and years of conditioning, we have learned to hold ourselves. But now we can awaken and see that we are being held. There's no doubt about it. We don't float off. When we know we are being held by the earth, we can begin to relax. We can allow ourselves to be held. See if you can begin to give yourself over to the holding of the earth. And see if you can begin to give yourself over to the holding of love. And let yourself relax even further. And not losing track of your own presence. Feeling your being held. Begin to observe your breath. Simply observing the flow, the natural flow of the body. The way it receives air and the way it surrenders it lets it go. See if you can observe yourself coming into that natural flow with the body of receiving and letting go. And when you feel ready, just allowing yourself to be carried all the way out on that out breath into complete surrender. And coming to a space of simple being, letting go of all doing, all thought, simple resting in love. See if in this place you can experience the flow of love. And as I say, in many of our practices, we did not create this. It was here. We simply returned. All we do is let the things that get in the way fall away so that we can return to our natural state and flow with love. As you go about your days this next week with all the holidays, the rushing, the bustle that sometimes happens, don't lose track of this flow. Let it carry you in and through every moment, bringing love to whatever situation you're in. And now knowing always that you are loved. Thank you so much for practicing with me and supporting my own practice. I love you all.